Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Let us look at the second aspect or second method by which we create space in the consumer's mind. And in the previous slide, we have spoken about the strategy of selling experience. If we sell experience, it becomes easier to create space in the minds of consumer. So, one example I would like to give you is that of Fair and Lovely. Now, what experience is Fair and Lovely selling? All of us know that Fair and Lovely is a whitening cream. So, if you apply Fair and Lovely, you will appear to be fairer than you actually are. It whitens your complexion. Now, what does it play upon? It plays upon the society's preoccupation with fairness. In India, if you are fair, you are considered to be beautiful. So, what is that experience that Fair and Lovely is selling? Is it selling fairness or is it selling something else? Let us think about it. What exactly is Fair and Lovely selling? And perhaps it is selling this. The experience that Fair and Lovely is selling to girls who are using Fair and Lovely is, I wish to get married to a handsome prince. A handsome prince, it is their assumption, or it is society's assumption, that a handsome prince will look for a pretty or a beautiful girl, and you cannot be beautiful if you are not fair. And who is the fairest of all? Because we were governed by the Britishers for a long time. So, white people are the fairest of all, and in India, because all of us are brown, so and we can never become white. So, therefore, there is no end to becoming fair. So, whether you are less fair or more fair, all of us or all of you can be the customer of Fair and Lovely whitening cream. So, this is the experience, this is the promise that Fair and Lovely brand is making to women and girls in India, and all of them, because everybody wants to get married, everybody wants to fall in love with a handsome prince, and that is why Fair and Lovely is such a hugely successful brand in India. We are not debating the ethics of it, we are debating how experience or promise of a unique experience can create space in the minds of the consumer, so that they think it is unique and they go and buy your brand. Next is, so this strategy, this way of positioning your brand is called abstract positioning. Previous one was attribute specific brand positioning. If you remember the case of Nano, it was attribute specific brand positioning, and in this case it is abstract positioning. So, this idea, the experience itself is abstract, and this fantasy that I will get married to a handsome prince will find me beautiful and he will extend his hand to marry me. So, this is an idea, this is an abstraction, and this abstraction has a very powerful hold over the minds of women and girls. So, this abstraction is used, this idea is used for the positioning of the brand, and that is called abstract positioning. Let us move further. Third method by which I have said we can create space in the minds of consumer is unique emotional response. Now, what does it mean? It means that when you think of a brand, only one emotion comes to your mind, only one response, and it is uniformly, if you ask 20 people, all 20 people will say the same thing when you show that brand. It is a very difficult state to achieve. It is not something that many brands have managed to achieve, but we will see two examples today where they have managed to achieve this unique emotional response from the consumers. So, the first brand that comes to my mind is Dove. Now, if you think of Dove, what comes to your mind? I will give you a few seconds to close your eyes and think of this brand Dove. If you have experienced Dove as the brand, as the product, whether it is shampoo or soap, what is your experience of this brand Dove? Now, you may use different words when you describe your experience with the brand Dove, but there will be an underlying commonness, underlying thread across all your expressions, and that is tenderness. If you remember the soap Dove, you will see that it is white in color, it is milky, it is creamy, and therefore it is tender to your skin. It is always white. In most cases it is white. It reminds you of milk. Another example is 3M. Now, 3M is not a very popularly known brand, but 3M is known for innovation. You may know about Scotch Brite, a product that you use to wash your utensils. You may also know about stick-it notes. So, those yellow color stick-it notes which we place on our notice boards or which we place in our notebooks, which serve to remind us what we are supposed to do. These are some of the innovations made by 3M. 3M is a company that thrives on innovation. All its products are innovative products. So, if people know about this brand, they will immediately talk of innovation. So, this brand stands for innovation. So, this is the third way by which we can create space in the mind of consumer, and that is unique emotional response. So, we have seen three ways. First is innovation, second is to sell experience, and third is to try and achieve a state where my brand elicits a unique emotional response. Let us move further. Now, how do we create these ideas, these unique emotional response or sell experience or innovation? How do we achieve this? And since we have to achieve this in the minds of the prospect, we have to look at the mind itself. And how do we look at the mind? We create a map of the mind, and in marketing it is called mental map. Now, if you look at this picture gives an example of a mental map. In this map, you see there are several axes which has two poles. So, any axis you see, for example, the horizontal axis of traditional and contemporary. So, in this axis you can place your product either towards traditional. So, you can say that my product is traditional, or you can say my product is contemporary, it is modern, or you take another axis where on one side it is realistic and on the other side it is exaggerated. So, you can again place your brand as an exaggerated position, or you can say it is a realistic position. So, I will give you an example, say life insurance brand. Now, any life insurance brand, what does it say? It says that there is a possibility of your death, and you must think about that possibility and plan for your family in case you meet with an untimely death. So, it is a very realistic kind of positioning, and often it is a fearful positioning. So, it is working upon your fear of death to sell you that product of life insurance. It is also an emotional pitch. If you see another axis, emotional versus rational, alright. Now, it is an emotional pitch. Why it is an emotional pitch? Because it is playing upon your love for your family. So, suppose you are not there after some time, suppose you meet with an untimely death, what will happen to your family? Who will take care of them? So, it makes you emotional, and it plays upon your fear, so that you go and buy an insurance product. Similarly, there are many other axes, hard and soft. So, you want to take a hard stance or you want to take a soft stance. For example, I remember a car advertisement. Now, I do not remember the brand, whether it was Volvo or BMW, but I remember that while the car is being driven, the man is accompanied by his wife, and he is driving the car, and it is very silent while they are driving on the highway. And suddenly this man starts hearing some jingle, some sound, and he is not able to understand where that sound is coming from. It is very faint sound, and he is getting a little uncomfortable as to when everything is so silent, why this sound is coming while I am driving this car. And after some time he realizes that the sound is actually the jingle of the earrings that his wife is wearing. So, what the advertisement is trying to say is that the cabin of this brand of car is so silent that you can even hear the jingle of the earrings of the girl sitting in the car. So, it is a soft position, whereas it can also take a hard position. So, many cars will advertise that within 6 seconds you reach 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. So, that is a hard position. So, what I am trying to say is that brand managers can decide in which way, along these axes, where do they want to place their brand and create that either innovation or create an experience that is unique, or create a unique emotional response. We will look at this with an example, and the example is MTV. Now, most of us would know that MTV is music TV, and it stands for many ideas which are diverse. Now, you can see MTV logo is in the center, and there are so many ideas that people have said that MTV stands for. You can see that MTV is original, it is real and genuine, it is fun and entertaining, it is informative, it is for young people, it is hip and cool, it is popular, it is interactive, it is live and immediate, and so on and so forth. It is a trendsetter. So many ideas people have expressed about MTV. This is the mental map of MTV, and if you try to concisely or in a crisp manner express, it is perhaps irreverent and rebellious. It is also rebellious, it rebels against the norms of society. It has people who takes the traditions, the value system of society little less seriously, and it plays with them. So, that is what MTV is known for. And if you try to do a mental map and you try to create a unique emotional response, or you create an experience that an MTV consumer you would like an MTV consumer to have, it would perhaps be a derivative of all of this. So, because MTV stands for music, they stands for what is hot and what is new, what is popular, what is live and immediate. The credibility is also very high, because MTV has been in business for a very long time. So, MTV has very high credibility. You can trust MTV, and you can also be sure that what they are offering is real. It is something that is actually created in the studios of MTV. MTV also has this personality of being irreverent, being hip, cool, young, rebellious, etc. So, those who are young and those who identify with these ideas, they will be able to gravitate towards MTV brand. It also organizes many events, if you remember MTV Splitsvilla and all that. So, it is participatory and it is fun and entertaining, and it is always original because it always comes up with something new and different. It is creative, it sets a trend, and it is also fluid, it is changing, it is evolving. So, if you look at all of this, if you look at all the associations that people have given about MTV brand, and then if you look at all these categories and about these categories what people have said, we can say that MTV has the key insight of rhythm and rebellion. So, if you look at innovation, if you look at selling experience or constructing experience, and if you look at unique emotional response, and when you think of MTV against those three ways of creating space in the mind, the method that MTV uses to create that space in the mind is rhythm and rebellion. Rhythm comes from music and rebellion comes from the value system. So, this is how we create space, and these are the methods that brand managers can use to create space and achieve a brand positioning that they want in the minds of the consumer. Now, we do not have to create space only in the minds of the consumer. We also have to create space in the marketplace. And again, just the way it is not easy to create space in the minds of the consumer, it is not easy to create space in marketplace either. In marketplace also, you have to have a large number of strategies, methods, and you have to have an understanding of the marketplace so that you are able to create space in the marketplace for your product and for your brand. Here also there are, I am giving you 3 ways in which you can create space for your product, for your brand in the marketplace, and that is first and foremost reputed corporate. What does it mean? It means that if a brand is coming from a reputed corporate house, if renowned company is launching a new product, for example Nano. Now, Nano was launched by Tata Group. So, that is why there was so much of excitement about Nano. Suppose Nano was being launched by a company which is relatively unknown, an XYZ company and so on. People may not take it very seriously because they feel that they cannot be trusted, they may be there today, they may go away tomorrow. So, it is important or it becomes easier to create space in the marketplace if a reputed corporate comes into the marketplace and offers or launches a new product. For example, say a new car is being launched, and that new car is coming from a company called TCS. Now, moment a company like TCS is launching a car, immediately what will we think? We will think that this car will be an IT related product. So, this car will not just be an automobile, it will be actually a software. It will actually be something that will work in the background and it will work like a computer. So, if TCS, a company like TCS were to launch an automobile, immediately it will create excitement in the marketplace and people will look forward to the fact that an IT company is actually launching a car. So, this is how a reputed corporate house, if they launch a new product, they immediately create space in the marketplace. Second is strong POPs and strong PODs. Now, what are these POPs and PODs? POP is points of parity and POD is points of difference. Now, when a product is being launched in the marketplace, it is not that it is the only product or it is the only brand in that category. Already there are so many products and brands in that product category. For example, you are launching a fairness cream. Now, there are already 3-4 fairness creams in the market. You have Fair and Lovely, you have Fair Ever and a few others. So, you have 2-3 brands already present in that fairness cream segment. Now, if you launch a new product, now you have to ensure that there is a strong POP and strong POD. What does it mean? It means that if it is a fairness cream, it should have points of parity with other fairness creams in the market, which means if others are promising fairness, you also have to promise fairness and you have to deliver fairness. So, but just delivering fairness is not enough, because everybody else is also delivering fairness. So, while points of parity might be delivering fairness, you also need to have a point of difference, and a point of difference means while everybody is offering fairness, you are offering fairness plus something. Like Imami's Fair and Handsome, they offer fairness for men, like Fair and Lovely is largely for women, Fair and Handsome is largely for men. So, while POP is fairness, POD is fairness for men, whereas Fair and Lovely is fairness for actually everyone, but largely for women. And finally, the last way by which you can create space in the marketplace is to identify and exploit a gap. If you can identify a gap, if you can see that this is the segment where there is no product or no brand available which is catering to, and it is actually a real gap, it has to be filled with a new product or with a new brand. If you are able to find that gap in the marketplace and fill that gap with a new product or a new brand, you will be able to immediately create space in the marketplace. So, this is where we stop today. Brand positioning is a long chapter and we will continue with this chapter in the next class. Thank you very much.